Long time no see, everyone. It's your old mate Jakargon back at it again. This time with part 4 of my style evolution. For part 3, we finished at the uniform type sort of thing, where I was wearing this Rick top, the pod shorts, and the Ramones with long socks or maybe shorter socks, depending on how hot or cold it was, almost every day. And I was feeling that that was really what represented me best at the time in terms of like fashion and expression. After that, then came the next part of trying to learn stuff, and that is layering. So layering is something that I'd never really paid attention to with how I dressed. I used to always just put on hoodie over a t-shirt, jeans, and left it at that. But through looking at how other people were dressing, finding, people on Instagram or YouTube that I really enjoyed, and talking to fashion senpai Nick, it seemed like layering was a pretty big way of how to like build a look and make it look like you've put a bit more effort into it rather than just like chucking a hoodie on. So first of all, I decided, I really want to get a bomber jacket. Now, I'd really never owned a bomber jacket before. Well, actually, I lie. I did, but it was a bit out there and I rarely wore it because it was a bit of a full send. So I went looking for one of the traditional black on the outside, orange on the inside with no flight tags on it type thing. And I was able to pick up this off Grailed. It's military surplus. It's definitely worn. Like it's got a few loose threads and things like that. It dangles a lot, which recently a lot of people have been making fun of me about, but I don't care. And I like it. It definitely is a piece that I wear a lot more than I expect it to. It goes well over whatever. Generally, it looks good. Like it can look good with more like smart casual type things or even dressing further down. Bomber jacket rules. Can't recommend them enough. Then in addition to that, I also wanted to get a hoodie. I mean, hoodies are something that I've always owned, but I wanted to pay a bit more attention to the kind of hoodies that I was wearing. And a brand Undercover from Japan that I noticed a few designs from and really liked have a sort of attitude or like motto of like, we make noise, not clothes. And I noticed that floating around, there were like hoodies or coats jackets that had the design that said noisemaker on it. And I thought, that's really cool. It's kind of like a, if you know type thing and reminiscent of like any type of, subculture. But after talking to Nick about, do you want to wear logos or are these kind of prints okay? He mentioned that logos can be a bit hype beasty, but also then designs do also contribute to the if you know type thing. And I was like, sure, that's actually pretty neat. So luckily enough, I was able to find a noisemaker hoodie in Sydney of all places on Grailed. So I picked that up. That came pretty quickly. Here it is here. This is in a large, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's an L. Undercover, the sizing I have to say is a bit odd. It's a Japanese brand. So I think like an L, consider it a Western M. It fits quite snug on me. So just, a word of advice. You probably already know this though. As well as that, they also have sizing like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would be the closest to a Western L, maybe even pushing a 5. So remember that if you've made it this far through. Then with those two top layers involved, I wanted to get something to go on my head. Like I rarely wear hats or beanies. I used to a lot when I was in primary school, but since then, rarely ever. And funnily enough, I had picked up a merchandise package for my sister for her birthday for a Dreamcatcher show. That was an online event. Dreamcatcher is a K-pop band. They're pretty awesome. I recommend checking them out. But they actually sent her 2 hats rather than one. So I was like, hey, can I maybe have the hat? And she obliged, and it's this one over here. And again, it's like of the same ilk of like, if you know, it says 7 Spirits on it. That is a reference to the name of the concert that they put on. So that's pretty neat. I wear this hat a lot now. I love it. It's kind of understated. It's just a regular hat, but I don't know. It's like wearing merch for something that means something to you. So I vibe with it. And finally, I wanted to pick up another pair of shoes. And for the shoes, I wanted them to be something that I could wear day to day, as the Ramones are really nice, but they scuff and I don't want to damage them. And they're worth quite a bit of money that I do want to be able to wear them, but I want to not wear them to things where I know they might get a bit wrecked, if you know what I mean. So I got a pair of Rick Owens Adidas Mastodon Pros. These were a bit of a hard find, considering the fact that the person was not responding for the longest time on Grailed, but eventually they did, and eventually they sold them to me. I was lucky to pick them up. I really like these shoes. I was into them because of the really chunky sole and just the silhouette of it. It looks huge, but it's not really, and it's kind of familiar with, like, you know, the shell toe. It looks like a superstar, but it's a high top as well. I love these shoes. I also recommend, as with most, Rick, to size it down maybe at least a half size because they do fit large. And I wear these not as often anymore, but when I did get them all the time, I would wear them with whatever. They came in pretty good nick. They're pretty worn, and the sole, the heel is pretty like dragged, but I still love them. I really enjoy the shoe, and I wear this when I'm going out, say, in the odd event where you're not in a lockdown, to a club or a bar or just out. It's a good going out shoe, and I rate these really, really highly. So with that, they were a few items that I picked up in that set of a haul, and I really wanted to focus on the layering part of it all and seeing how I could build on things and really express a bit more how I looked. Again, I'm very new to this, so bear with me with the looks, but I was pretty stoked with them, and I wore these for a bit too, and I still do to this day. So let's have a look and get to it. There were some looks that I was able to come up with some basic layering, nothing too fancy, but really bomber jacket or denim jacket over hoodie always goes down a treat. If you haven't tried it, definitely recommend it. Match the colors, or, you know, contrast with white and black, and you really can't go wrong. Like, mwah, chef's kiss. So this was something that I started doing sort of late summer. I couldn't really do it too much because Australian summers are, you know, they're kind of hot. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. For the next one, it'll be exploring moods as well as the next set of pickups that I did get. Yeah, things that were coming were making me pretty stoked. I was happy with how they looked and how they looked on me. And yeah, it's a really great way to sort of build upon what you've got. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have fun. And as always, don't do anything I do. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.